I've set up a little scenario here. This is meant to be high overview. So if you're looking at this to answer specific questions, it's not going to address that. It will address a high level overview of the basically of the commission structure. Okay. Now, we know, number one, that there are different types of commissions. There's what's called direct commission, and they're paid on software license, agency license, BTC packages, and spread, which is part of the Forex. Matrix is paid on software, agency, and again, spread. And Unilevel is paid in Forex, known as the coded bonus, as well as BTC packages. And it's important to know this because if you know what's happening is people are misunderstanding and they're not clear on how this works. So first of all, qualified. What's the definition of qualified? Qualified means that you yourself personally own either license, and you have 3 direct people that either have a license, and that is all 3 directs. You can't mix and match this part of it. You have to have 3 directs that all own either license, or 3 people that have 12 BTC packages each. Does that make sense? Minimum 12 BTC, or 3 that own the license. Now, if you have, 3 that own either license and you got 1 that own 12 BTC, that's fine, that's great, good for you. But you need one or the other, all 3 direct affiliates. So either you've got 3 that own or have purchased either license, or 3 that have all purchased at least 12 BTC packages. Now, we're going to go to a very simple 2-level. I'm not going to go down multiple levels here. I'm going to try to keep this simple. I may talk about multiple in a minute, but I just want you to get across how this works. So here's Mike. Now, Mike is qualified. Let us assume that Mike has Fran, Cheryl, and Mario, and all 3 have purchased licenses. Let's say that they all 3 have purchased the software license. That means Mike is fully qualified for everything. He's not qualified on one side or the other. There's no such thing. You're either qualified for all the commissions or only the direct commissions. Now, great point before I get going on this is if you're not qualified, you still earn direct commissions. And by the way, direct commissions, we're talking about any sales you make in terms of BCT, spread, and software. Now, they just recently announced that you'll also get level 2 Unilevel. All right. Now, I don't want to go too far into that yet till I get to that explanation, and I'll reiterate that. But for now, remember, if you're not qualified, okay, you will only earn direct commissions with the exception of level 2, which I'll talk about in a second. So if you are not qualified, you can still earn all your direct commissions. That means software on the Forex side. If you sell software, boom, you're getting a commission. If you sell an agency license, a commission. BTC commission, and spread is 25% of the spread paid, which you will receive that as well. All right. Now, going on to the example, here's Mike. Fran, Cheryl, and Mario each have purchased software licenses. That means Mike is fully qualified. So what does that mean? That means anytime a software license down here is sold, including Frank, and I'll explain why Frank is in red in a minute. But Mindy, Tina, if anyone down here buys software, Mike will earn not only direct commissions if they happen to be his direct, but in the case of them not being direct, he will still earn software, okay, on the matrix. Now, what does matrix mean? Matrix means that Frank here was put up by some gentleman above Mike or some lady above Mike. Somebody dropped Frank down into here. That's called spillover. Now, on a matrix level, Mike will be paid for Frank but only if it's software, an agency license, or spread. Okay, spread, agency, or software. He will not get anything in terms of the BTC packages. That will not happen. Why? Well, because it's spillover. And because it's unilevel, we're going to see the definition of unilevel in a moment, that as it's applied here. Because it is unilevel, Frank does not enter into the equation as far as commissions go. Now again, he will get software on him, he'll get the agency license or the software license, depending which one Frank decides to purchase, as well as the spread commissions on the Forex. But other than that, as far as BTC goes, in terms of the packages, no, he will not get commission on Frank. Of course, on Sue and Mindy and Tina, because they're all part of his group, yes. Now, being level 2, all right, let's say Dave, Pete, Sue, Mindy, Tina, Martin, Leah, and Tom all belong to these respective people here, then what that would mean is that even if Mike was not qualified, he would also collect 3%. Remember, 3% on the unilevel. And again, I'm not going to go over all the percentages. You should know them all, or go refer back to, you should have a good understanding if you're watching this video. This should just be a high-level overview to make sure that you understand the differences between Matrix and Unilevel. All right? Now, so to continue on, the only way Frank will enter in the equation being in red is if, from this point on, there's software, agency, or spread. Now, why is that? Well, remember, Frank came from someone up here. Frank is not directly connected to any of these people. So the way Unilevel works is it's a direct line. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's start with Dave. Dave here, we'll assume, was sponsored by Fran for the example of this video. And Fran was sponsored directly by Mike. Now, you can draw a line from Dave to Fran to Mike. That's Unilevel. That means Dave buys a BTC package. Fran gets a 10% direct commission for the sale of that BTC package. And Mike, in turn, will get 3% because this is Mike's level 2 unilevel. Matrix means people can pop in from all over the top down into the matrix, and that's great, and that's wonderful. But that applies, again, only to software and agency license, as well as spread on the commission side for the Forex. But in terms of BTC packages, again, Frank would not be included in this example. Does that make sense? Now, once again, let's change up the example real quick here. Let's say that Mario here, and we're going to put Mario in red, all right? And let's say Mario's whole entire team is in red, meaning that basically Mario was dropped in by somebody else, and this whole leg is going crazy, okay? Now, they could be building these BTC packages. What Mike will get paid on is any licenses, be it software licenses that are being purchased or agency license, or if any of them do the Forex trading, he will get paid spread on this team over here, right? But other than that, in terms of BTC packages, Mike will not see anything going on over here. Does that make sense? Okay, so remember unilevel. So unilevel basically allows you to trace directly. So in this case, let's say that Leah, oops, I incorrectly identified Tina here. That's obviously a mistake. Let's change Tina back. Sorry. All right, that was glaringly obvious. Sorry about that. But let's say that Martin here was sponsored by Mario. Okay, so Martin belongs to Mario, and Mario's person, sponsored Mario, is up here over, we'll just say Pete or whoever, right? So in other words, see, you can follow this chain. The only reason Mario's here is because the person up here placed Mario further down into the matrix. So the difference between a unilevel and a matrix, when you're referring to matrix positions, you're talking about the physical positions where you are in relation to other people, whereas a unilevel is where you are relative to your sponsor. So you have to be able to show a direct connection all the way through. I hope that this makes it very clear about how this works. And one last thing I'm going to do, I said I wasn't going to go too deep into levels, but let me just show you this. This will just be a side note. Let's say we have level 5, level 6, level 7, level 8. Now remember, these are all direct. This guy is sponsored by this one and so on all the way up the chain, okay? And there will be multiple paths, so let's just look here for a minute. Here's one, Tina to Cheryl to Mike, that's one path. Mindy to Cheryl to Mike, that's another path. Sue to Cheryl to Mike, that's another path. So, you know, Mike Fran to Dave and Mike Fran to Pete and so on. This, however, Mike Fran to Frank, no. Frank was put in by somebody up above. There's no direct relation there. That doesn't count for unilevel. That only counts for the matrix positions. Now, one quick thing, going back here, what I was saying, we'll do 9 and we'll do 10. Your matrix can be extended. No, pardon me. Your unilevel can be extended. Matrix 2, this applies to both because they're compressed. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's say on level 10 over here, that a purchase is made, all right? Let's say a purchase is made right here. And now what happens? Let's say this person is not qualified, okay? And they might be the direct sponsor. So if this is a direct sponsor or level 2, right? Level 1 or level 2, they will get a commission. But let's say we go past level. Let's pretend that this is a sponsor. And let's say 8 is a sponsor and level 9 is one level past. So when 10 makes a purchase, this person, level 1 and the sponsor would, you know, would get a commission, right? You know how that works. The direct level 1 and level 2. So now let's just say that 7 was not qualified, 6 was not qualified, 5 was not qualified, 4 was not qualified, 3 and 2 were not qualified. That means this person would be paid a commission, but you realize now, because technically this is only one level, right, that gets paid right here, level 1, then what does that mean? That means it'll go further up the chain. In other words, all these people in between that are not qualified, they basically don't count. So this could potentially go up another, you know, keep going up 11 levels because people have to get paid out 12 levels. So what that means is that if you're sitting in this business and you're in here and you haven't bought your software and haven't got your 3 people qualified, do you realize people above that basically are going to get paid that otherwise you would have got paid for it? And you know, I've actually, it's kind of funny, I've been saying the same thing now since I joined this business in December, no, end of September, and I've watched people suddenly wake up and go, wow, I'm letting all these commissions go by, let me just get my license and get my 3. And then boom, all of a sudden they start collecting some of these commissions. So very important that you understand the differences between unilevel, matrix, and direct, how that relates to each of the different products, and how that all works, okay? Hopefully this makes it clear. And if you have any questions, feel free to follow up and get clarification from either your sponsor, or feel free to reach out and we'll get this cleared up. All right, thanks for your time. Have a great rest of the day.